Welcome back. And let me just say, here in Austin, Texas, it's ridiculously hot. It is the hottest May we have had, I think, since the 70s, and it's ridiculous. It's nice and cool in the studio, so thanks for being with me today. And today I'm going to talk to you about something that has really helped me in my own repair work, but it's also helped me help others. And that's something that I think you will find as well, is that as you do the work to heal, as you experience transformation and personal restoration, it's going to help you be able to help others, including your significant other. Because as we heal, we can then be a vessel to heal others and encourage others. As we see change in us, we can begin to help others experience change as well. The other night I was in my men's group, and oh yes, I will never advocate for something that I'm not invested in myself. Yes, your friend Samuel has a men's group that he attends. I love it. It's fantastic. It has been a vessel of change, of healing, of vulnerability in my own life, and I highly recommend it. I highly recommend, if you are a man who's going through infidelity, that you find a group, and you can find one on our website, either for Unfaithful or Betrayed. If you're a woman going through infidelity, Unfaithful or Betrayed, we have groups as well. Same-sex groups that are life-changing. And I was in my own group, and a therapist that's in the group said something. She said, it's very hard for someone to be compassionate upon their significant other when they're not compassionate upon themselves. And so oftentimes we feel like, man, why isn't our significant other compassionate with us? Why are they so hard on us? It's probably because they are so hard on themselves. And the therapist went on to say, you can't give somebody what you don't have to give, meaning we can look at our spouse or significant other and think, man, they're so hard and angry. Why can't they be compassionate with me? Because they probably are not able to be compassionate upon themselves. Now, that doesn't mean, oh, my betrayed spouse is so angry all the time and so upset and hurt and mad, so they just need to be compassionate upon themselves. No, that's different, because they have had their life completely traumatized. They are finding it hard to find solid ground to just put their feet on, let alone their emotions and their mind. What I'm talking about, in many ways, you might be a betrayed spouse and you think, my unfaithful spouse is so hard on themselves, but also they can't seem to be compassionate on me. Empathy is so hard for them. Like, it is so tough for them to step into a place of empathy and compassion and safety for me. Why? I will tell you, it's probably because they are that way with themselves, and they cannot tap into that mode of compassion and kindness and empathy because they haven't even done that to themselves. You might be that partner who empathy is hard for you. Compassion is hard for you. You get defensive, you get angry, you get resistant, you shut down, and you wonder why. Well, you probably like that with yourself. And when we expect our partners to be that way with us, meaning compassionate, kind, empathetic, and they can't, I'll bet you it's probably because they are not even that way with themselves. And if they can't be like that with themselves, how can they be like that with you? So today we're going to talk about how to navigate through self-compassion, how to help silence our inner critic, or at least quiet it down, how to be able to find out how we got to this place of such self-shaming. Because if you don't heal this, primarily unfaithful, but also betrayed, there's a component to your side as well. But the true principle is, if you can't deal with your self-shaming, self-hatred, self-criticism, it's going to be very hard for you to be able to be compassionate and safe for your partner. Okay, so how do we experience self-compassion? Number one, we have to go backwards and find out, where was this behavior modeled for us? Was it our parents? Was it a coach? Was it sports? Was it growing up in a certain family structure? But we didn't just get here on our own. It was modeled for us. It was created for us. It was established for us. We somehow learned this behavior. And we're not going to be able to set ourselves free until we can find out where was this modeled. And again, I always say this, an expert professional or a group can help you find how this happened. This is family of origin stuff that requires you to go backwards before you can go forwards and identify, how did I arrive at such a self-shaming point in my life? Because my partner, either my marriage now or my relationship now or my relationship in the future, is going to require of me self-compassion in order for me to be compassionate and empathetic with my partner. Next is what they call introspective awareness, which is understanding why I feel what I feel so that I can kind of move towards a self-analysis and being able to understand what goes on inside of me. How do I talk to myself? Why do I talk to myself this way? Why am I so critical upon myself? Because until I can find that out, I'm going to be stuck in this habit, in this pattern, in this routine. And as I've told you for months and years, if we want to experience change, we'll have to establish new habits, new patterns, and new routines, because our healing requires that of us. What I'm saying is, you've got to connect with yourself. You want to connect with your partner? Connect with yourself. Start to understand, what am I feeling? And we men have a real difficult time with this, but finding words for our feelings is important, and we have to do that work. We have to be able to identify what we are feeling, and not just, well, I feel sad and hungry and I'm angry. Okay, let's go deeper. Let's find more words. I'm feeling wounded. I'm feeling offended. I'm feeling violated. I'm feeling betrayed. I'm feeling unsafe. We have to be able to have self-awareness, because if we can't be self-aware, how can we be others aware, especially when we're trying to heal from infidelity or addiction? Next, and this one's going to hurt, so buckle yourself in, brace yourself. We're going to have to part ways with maybe some punitive groups that we're a part of. That could be a religious group, a church group, a way of thinking, a way of believing. I'm not saying that if you come from faith that you should abandon your faith, not at all. I'm not saying that if you come from a certain belief system that has maybe made you be hard on yourself, that you abandon that belief system. I'm saying maybe it's time to reevaluate that part which has created such a significant form of self-hatred and self-criticism, because my question for you is, how is that helping you? How is this self-shame, self-criticism, this lack of empathy, lack of love, lack of kindness for yourself, how is that helping you? I guarantee you it's not helping you. It's not helping your relationship. It's not helping the recovery timeline. It's not going to help you be compassionate on your partner. It's going to interfere with it. It might even be the blockage that is preventing you from being as empathetic as your partner is asking you to be with them, their pain, their hurt. And that goes for unfaithful and betrayed. It is a relational principle that if you can't experience and display empathy for your partner, how do you expect them to be safe and let their guard down with you? And oh, by the way, here it comes. I know. Some of you unfaithful, you see, you son of, you dirt, you've got to be compassionate with me. You're the reason I cheated. There's the reason I went outside the marriage. Stop with that nonsense. You can't expect someone who's been traumatized and violated by your infidelity or addiction to snap right into empathy and compassion. It does not work that way. That's unrealistic. That's unkind. And that's having no self-awareness for what your choices have done to your partner. What I'm talking about is being able to move towards transformation while doing our own personal work to find out why we are the way that we are. Because I'll tell you, if you try and use this against your partner and blame them and attack them and put it on them, again, all you're doing is deflecting the need to do your own work. Finally, there's going to have to be either a couple of significant moments or many significant moments where you actually forgive yourself. That's not just unfaithful, that's betrayed, that's all of us. If we are going to experience compassion, we're going to have to forgive ourselves. Does that mean that what we did was okay? No. Does that mean that we can go, not a big deal that I had 4 affairs, or I had this addiction for 20 years, or I spent all this money in my... Not at all. But hating yourself is not going to bring transformation. Continuing to be critical and shaming and speak so negatively of ourselves is not going to bring transformation. What will bring transformation is accepting what we're capable of, accepting what we've done, being able to be compassionate on ourselves and not say, hey, it's okay that you did that. No, you, ourselves, are valuable. That was not your best work. That was not your best or highest self. And we've got to repair that damage. And if we love ourselves, we will repair that damage that we did to ourselves as well as the people around us. If we truly care for ourselves, we're going to do the work to repair the damage, not just on us, but on the people that we damaged. The next step for you might be self-forgiveness. Until we can forgive ourselves, it's going to be so hard to forgive anyone around us. That's why you meet so many people in so many capacities who are constantly angry and harsh and bitter, because they're that way with themselves typically. And if we can find freedom internally, I promise you, we can find freedom relationally. And if that relationship isn't reciprocating that, well, that's why there's time, that's why there's a process. It's not always guaranteed, and not every relationship makes it. But what I can tell you is, if you will do this work, you will begin to find so much compassion upon yourself, and then it will spill over into every relationship around you. If I can help in any way, please leave a comment. Go to affairrecovery.com. You can find so much help for any type of infidelity or addiction. I hope that you will reach out. I hope wherever you're at in this world, that you would take a step outside yourself and find support. You can't do this on your own, and you don't need to do this on your own.